Hey everyone, welcome to the Fortress of Solitude podcast. I'm your host, Sergio Pereira, and today I am joined by Lois Kutab. Lois,
what's up?
Happening?
What's up?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm quite excited to discuss a few things. So, I mean, a little movie's coming out in December this year. You know, I don't know if you've heard about it. It's called Matrix Resurrections.
No, it doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah, it sounds random. I mean, I don't know. Who would ever name a movie like The Matrix? Like the people who actually fix your computer.
It's terrible. I'm minusing marks.
It's terrible. No, well, obviously, we are here discussing the brand new trailer for The Matrix Resurrections, which is like pretty much The Matrix 4, right? I mean, they just call it Matrix 4. I don't know why they have these like long ass
it's almost
names.
with an R as well, isn't it?
It is. It's like, imagine if you got like a lisp or something. Like, I mean, I had quite a bad lisp when I was small. So sometimes it comes out as well. So it's anything with an R. I mean, imagine if you're like Alma Fudd now. You know, it's like The Matrix Resurrections. It's just not going to work, man. So, yeah. But anyways, the new trailer just dropped. I mean, they did a pretty cool marketing campaign. I mean, like, with a whole website. And, they've been building up some nice hype for it. I mean, it came out of nowhere because the movie's been quiet for a while. We didn't know what was going on. Obviously, we knew they were filming it and they finished filming it. But, like, now suddenly the marketing campaign is hitting hard, which, I mean, it's about time. I mean, the movies came out in December. It's September now. So, 3 months. It's about time to start drawing up some interest. So, obviously, first trailer dropped. What was your first impression?
I mean, I was never a huge fan of The Matrix, right? Like, I enjoyed it, for what it was when I watched it, like, I don't know how long ago. I think I watched them last, like, maybe 10 years ago or more. And the reason why I wasn't a huge fan, and I'm just going to be honest, I don't think I was smart enough to understand the movie. It just used to confuse the hell out of me because it was very, like, AI and whatever and programs, and I just didn't understand what was happening. And I feel like I would appreciate it now. And this is why I've set up this weekend to actually rewatch all three. That being said, I am psyched. This looks really cool. I see what they're doing is like, and it happens often, right? Even when Star Wars came back for a new trilogy, the first entry, if this is the first entry, this could be the only one, seems to be both a progressive thing and a throwback, because there's so many parallels to the first movie in this that I can see from the red pill, blue pill thing to the like starting with a normal life to like a character who looks a little like Morbius. For me, it draws so many parallels. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, look, I mean, it does feel like a bit of a soft reboot.
That's how I feel.
That's exactly that. And for me, I don't know yet. I mean, I found that the trailer was pretty cool, like the visuals and stuff that I saw, but it doesn't really tell me like much because, I mean, let's be honest, the first Matrix was pretty much, Neo discovering that, he's in a Matrix basically, and like finding it out. And that kind of feels like, we're retreading the same ground as before. So, like, for me, I just need to find out, like, a little bit more about the story. I don't think in terms of the trailer setting... Well, look, at the same time, you don't want the trailer to give away everything, which is, like, I mean, we also don't want that. But I think in terms of, like, setting up the story, in terms of, like, intriguing me, I'm kind of thinking, this kind of feels a bit like a bit of the same. But it does look visually very, very impressive.
100%. I mean, look, I had the feelings all when I looked at it. I was like, wow, how long are we going to spend in the movie, like, setting up the Matrix? Is this meant to serve new people who are new to the world of the Matrix and existing fans, or is it supposed to just pick up where we left off? And I'm feeling like it's going to be the former, but I mean, I don't know. I haven't done a whole lot of research into it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm hopeful. I mean, I love the John Wick movies recently, and I feel like anything that this man touches just turns to gold. So I'll give it a shot.
No, definitely. I mean, I think it's quite interesting, especially with Yahya Abdul-Mateen II's role, which obviously a lot of people predict is like a younger Morpheus, basically. And a lot of people are predicting that that's like, the case. And I'm interested. Like, I mean, look, it gripped me, but I'll be honest. I feel a little bit underwhelmed by this trailer. Like, I'm not like... Visually, it's fantastic. I cannot fault it, but I just don't feel like it did anything to really up my hype level.
It didn't offer a whole lot of context. Let's be honest. It was just like random action scenes happening, so you know it's going to be big. Like that's one thing that's happening. I mean, I was psyched to see Neil Patrick Harris. I don't know why. I just was. I was like, hey, I'm always happy to see him in anything. And obviously, it seems like there's a bunch of new, younger characters as well. So I don't know if this is starting something new or what the plan is. I don't know if you know if there's a plan forward or if this is just supposed to be a standalone.
Look, I mean, I haven't been following it. Like, I've been trying to avoid a lot of chat around it because, you know, with these types of movies, there's always like these websites that are like making up shit and like telling us like, oh, it's the start of a trilogy, it's the start of like another 10 movies, or like, you know, they're going to revive somebody from the dead and stuff like that. So I've tried to avoid it for as much as possible until like we get like the official word on what it is. So I'm waiting to see like the actual official press release for it. I haven't seen it yet. I presume it'll probably arrive like right now because the first trailer's out. They should probably reveal a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, look, I am psyched for the Matrix. I really love the first Matrix. That was like, it's hands down in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. And I really loved it. I'm not a huge fan of the sequels. Yeah, both of them. I'm not really a huge fan. I felt they were a bit of a letdown. But in all fairness, I also did watch them, you know, many years ago, and I need to rewatch them. I also have a plan on sitting down and doing it because I really enjoy the Animatrix, and there was also like the PlayStation games as well. So I thought the lore was really great. But I just found that the first Matrix was like something like so original, and you know, bringing, you know, like all these sort of Middle Eastern influences as well to Middle Eastern, sorry, actually Asian influences to the actual, you know, cinematography of the Matrix, and bring all these concepts, like bringing everything together in bullet time. I mean, it was actually super innovative at the time.
How many cultural references were born just from that movie alone? You know, there's a reason why it's so steeped in like pop culture.
No, exactly. It was something so innovative. It was something fresh, something new, something has never been done before. And I think that was like the appeal of it. Now it kind of feels like it's kind of weird because I was actually thinking to myself, I'm like thinking while I'm watching this Matrix trailer, like, I've seen all this stuff before. And then I think to myself, but hang on, I actually saw all the stuff for the first time in the Matrix. So it's like kind of like this weird sort of like Inception that you like. Yeah, you're kind of like in the Matrix, you know, complaining about the Matrix.
It's kind of meta. It's like memeing itself a little bit. It's wild.
Exactly. That's the weirdest thing. It's like I kind of felt like I caught myself for a second. I'm like, no, you actually being like really stupid. You're really being dumb here because this is actually like you saw all the stuff like bullet time and, you know, like climbing up walls and doing those flips. All those things. That was the Matrix. The Matrix introduced
and it's amazing. And look, I know you were saying that you were a fan of the first one, and I think what made a lot of people a fan of it, and I don't know if that's just how they create movies at first because they don't know how they're going to be received before making sequels. Yeah. And often I feel like the first movie is made to wrap up because the first one does kind of wrap up, doesn't it? And they could have ended there. And then a lot of movies, it's like, okay, and then we'll kind of plan a sequel. And you can tell that it's not quite, you know, that it was never intended initially and then just kind of came later. And I think that's why sometimes some sequels fall flat.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's been a couple of years. I think the problem was that I had these lofty expectations, having watched, you know, the original Matrix and then, you know, diving into the sequels. And around that time as well, it was the Lord of the Rings were like releasing like the Two Towers and the Return of the King. So it was quite a lot of like, you know, movies being released. And I must say that I was probably more of a fan of like Lord of the Rings sequels than I was the Matrix.
It's a big deal.
So yeah, like that caught my hype, which is kind of weird because I am a huge, you know, science fiction and sort of fantasy fan. So for me, it was kind of weird that I got caught up. Like, you know, I tend to lean more towards sci-fi than fantasy, put it that way. You know, like in terms of like I enjoy like the sort of concepts of the Matrix probably more than I would, you know, going back into like, you know, the Middle Ages and all that sort of time. But it was kind of weird. So yeah, like I do need to revisit them. I do think that I need to give it another shot. I think this is on me. It's not on, you know, the actual films themselves. So I do need to give it another shot. But yeah, look, like I will say, the trailer looks interesting. Like what is showing us. Doesn't say much. That's what I will say. Like, okay, cool. He doesn't really remember, his time then, and it looks like Carrie-Anne Moss's character Trinity doesn't remember either. She also looks like they look at each other like,
have we met before?
Sort of thing. Yeah, and I mean that's the sort of thing. That's the sort of vibe. And to be honest with you, I kind of thought they were going to do that. I honestly had a feeling that was going to be the angle that they were going to take for this movie, and I was proven right. So, like, I'm kind of like, in a way, I'm a little bit disappointed because, most people love it when the expectations are met in movies. I don't. I'm that kind of person where, like, I want to go into a movie and I want you to surprise me. Yeah, I don't want to be the person who goes into a movie, knows everything's going to happen. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is what's going to happen now. This is what's going to happen. I don't want to know that.
I think there's space for fan service, and then there's space for like innovation. I think it's a careful line to walk when you've got a massive franchise and you're trying to introduce something new.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it looks really cool. Like I said before, the visuals are spectacular, and I think that we are living in a time now where CGI is at a level it's never been before. We are living at the peak of CGI movies and the ability for filmmakers to create entire worlds. And I think the fact that you look at the first Matrix and you look at some of the stuff they did then, and that was innovative for its time. And now, you kind of think of, wow, what are they going to be able to do like now?
Yeah, because to be fair, for the longest time, those visuals held up, dude. Like even now, they're fine,
Yeah, I mean, you can watch it. It looks really great. I mean, they were still like better than like some PlayStation
and that's
graphics.
99, dude.
Yeah, so I mean, that was PS1. That was peak PS1 time. So we're still jamming like what's a Crash Bandicoot then. So yeah, like I'm excited, but like I said, I did expect a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe I am being a little bit unfair. I will wait for the second trailer, and I will definitely go watch this movie. It's like day one watch for me. So regardless if like the trailer sucks or not.
No, I agree. 100%. We're watching it. Like even most movies we talk about in this podcast, like it's a case of like we might have hesitancy, but like we're gonna watch it, and then opinions may or may not change after that point.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what being a movie fan is about. Like, at the end of the day, if you're excited about something, I mean, even a trailer can be, funny. Yeah. It can be a little bit off. But at the end of the day, it's going to be still great. Like, I'll be honest with you. For example, for Shang-Chi, like, I thought the trailers were like pretty average. Like I thought, okay, it just looks like another Marvel movie. And that movie, it blew my socks off, man. I was pleasantly surprised. Like, man, the trailers did a terrible job selling.
And I'm happy that it actually kind of dropped the ball in the trailers. It gave kind of like, it set it low. I don't know if they intentionally did that or probably not. I don't know who, obviously they had a certain kind of idea that they were pandering towards in terms of like what they showed, like, oh, just this and just that, and like everything we've seen before was what was shown in the trailers, like anything Marvel-y. But then the take was like, it was really cool. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and see it. But anyway, back to the Matrix, which I mean shares the whole kung fu thing, so we're technically not that far off of a topic.
It's true. And I mean, look, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I have no doubt that they are keeping a few things a surprise for us, which is great. Instead of spoiling everything in the trailer. But yeah, let's wait and see for the second trailer, like what actually happens and what's actually revealed. And then we're obviously going to go watch it. We're going to see it, and then we'll probably be back in December to discuss it. So yeah, but anyways, to everybody else out there, thanks again for tuning in and listening. And let us know, what did you think of the Matrix 4 trailer? Was it cool? Was it not? We're expecting more. Let us know down in the comments. And until next time, peace.